morning, Tony. Did you know that we're only 58 days away from the midterm elections this May? It's that time for you again.
Certainly, Pat. It will be election time again soon.
Yes, we will be electing new leaders. That's why today, we are presenting a study that offers a glimpse into perceptions and issues for this coming election. A very timely study this election. Boka, Bukó, Boto.
Wait, ma'am. What does Boka, Bukó, Boto mean?
Tony, Boka means the ability to speak charismatically. In this study, it represents a positive.
What about Bukó? Oh, you mean the coconut!
No, Tony. Bukó means simply booking. It's about finding out something. In this study, it represents the media practitioners.
Oh, wait. I know what Boto means. Boto is what you should do this coming May 13. Am I right, people?
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pat.
And I'm Tony, your MCs for today's presentation.
Welcome to
Boka, Bukó, Boto, exploring perceptions of Philippine elections.
Our presenters, ladies and gentlemen, we give you Yana and Dre.
Here, we'll look specifically at the three key players of the process: the politicians, the media, and the voter. A study from Adelko and Sharma suggests that politicians believe that they must prioritize the fulfillment of public demands and expectations. Additionally, Theodora stated that the role of the media is to ensure its fourth estate function, which is to monitor governance within the government. Interestingly, Schaffer said that when people perceive the elections to be fair, clean, and honest, they are more likely to participate in the process and turn their votes in.
The researchers observed the issue of political dynasty running not only in the blood of remarkable families in the country, but also in the bloodline of the country's election itself. Another issue is vote buying. The Social Weather Stations, or SWS, says that more people from the lower middle class and the poor believe that it was bad to accept money, provided that one votes according to one's conscience. The researchers attempt to address these things through our study. Areas with no currently occurring armed conflict, civil, or social unrest. These criteria were used as parameters to control the scope of the survey and to address both cost and safety issues. The chosen areas were as follows: A. La Union, Benguet, Nueva Ecija. B. Pampanga, Bulacan, NCR. C. Batangas, Laguna, Bicol. D. Bacolod, Tacloban, Aklan, Iloilo. And E. Cotabato, Camiguin, Cagayan de Oro, Iligan. This made for a total 940 respondents across different regions in the Philippines. To analyze the survey, the researchers made use of data from frequency distributions.
For the qualitative portion, 26 focused interviews were conducted on the basis of purposive criterion sampling. Now that we have elaborated on the methodology, we now go to the scope and limitations. The focal points of this study are the perceptions on the election process, election players, and election issues. The researchers did not aim to profile the respondents in any way. The primary goal was to describe the data.
80% did not find the election ballots easy to fill up. Most of the respondents felt that the people in charge were helpful and approachable. The precincts that they voted in were safe. The precincts that they voted in was clean and well-lighted. Surprisingly, 75.1% of respondents felt that the PCOS machines did not speed up the election process.
In 1996, nag-umpisa po kami nitong mag-study. But there were some effects. We had imported paper, we had an imported ink. Ngayon po ay naka-localize na tayo. Medyo nakapagtipid-tipid na tayo dyan. Canvassing and the transmission of votes, we have proven it to be fast, reliable, and transparent. You only have to vote for one, otherwise, what happens? Hindi bibilangin para sa posisyon na yan ang inyong boto. You will know that your ballot is fake kasi ibubuga niya ulit. Those are still one of our safeguards. Dito po lumalabas ang ating electoral result. This is now our election results. Ito po yung, di ba sa manual voting yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wala na yun. Ito na, ilalabas na sa ating malinis. Kung pipirmahan dyan sa baba as watcher. Nagumuna ay yung mga BEIs natin, and then if you are available and they ask you to, then you can sign there as a watcher.
Thank you so much, Miss Marlene Rito.
The voters were asked how important the election issues were in deciding their vote. EPAL, 72% felt that it was important. Negative media coverage, 70%. Vote buying, 70%. Black propaganda, 69%. And political dynasties, 64%.
The Apple issue may be a reflection of the Filipino trait, kulang sa pansin and credit-seeking. But for politicians, being Apple is demanded due to some circumstances like when running against a famous personality.
Sama ng loob manifest in the internal conflict of competing politicians in black propaganda.
86% felt that voters should be knowledgeable of candidates' backgrounds.
Vote buying is one of the biggest and most salient issues in today's Philippine elections. Our study found that Filipinos, while aware that it is illegal, still engage in the process for their own personal reasons. Ang maboka, the politicians. Ang politiko ay maboka. Voters say that politicians are approachable
Because it's so expensive to run for office in this country.
Moreover, it was revealed that a lot of trapos or traditional politicians are still loved by the people. It was also found that running for public office just to get back at their enemies is a common scenario in the elections.
Media practitioners must fulfill their fourth-state function to monitor governance. The media exposes. Sila ay nambuko. Media networks accommodated citizen journalism as seen through their programs like ABS-CBN's Boto Mo, Ipatron Mo, and GMA's School. Some media practitioners even become hired PRs of candidates.
We now present ang bumoboto, the voters. Findings suggest that the primary role of voters is to wisely choose leaders of the country.
They vote with their ears and eyes. Kung maganda ka, magaling ka. Pangalawa, they vote with their heart. So, kung pumunta ka sa patay, sa birthday, sa binyag, malamang iboboto.
There are two types of accountability that voters can afford. One of them is end accountability, meaning that they wait for the next elections and punish the elected official who did not deliver.
Nang mag-google ako sa paksang Philippine Elections 2013 jokes, may isang interesanting entry na lumabas mula sa blog ni Political Heckler. The problem with political jokes is they get elected. Kung ang mga nakakatawang politiko ay nahalal, anong sinasabi nito hinggil sa media na dapat ay nagpapalaganap ng susing impormasyon, opinyon at debate para sa paggawa ng matalinong pagpili ng mga botante at ng mismong botante na bumoboto batay sa popularidad kaysa substansya o ang mas masahol na batay sa pera at suhol para sa pagtataguyod kaysa sa pagtataguyod ng isang napakahalagang karapatan. Ang eleksyon ay isang pambansang ritual pag nagpapausad sa bansa sa kanyang susunod na hakbang at yugto na maaari rin namang one step forward, two steps backwards.
To conclude, the researchers set out to determine how the three most important players in the Philippine elections, the voters, the media, and the politicians, made sense of the election process, the different roles of the election players, and the most salient election issues of the day. Boka o bola? While there are politicians with good intentions, the data from the survey and focus interviews revealed a generally different picture. Filipino voters are skeptical of their public servants, particularly on their impressions of the cleanliness and fairness of politicians' campaigns.
Bukó o Boka. The Philippine media, as reflected in the study, is both a business entity and a public servant, responsible for monitoring government practices and disseminating pertinent information to the public. This is particularly true during the elections.
Boto o Bukó? 3 types of voters were identified in our study: objective, rational, and relational voters. A Filipino voter may be objective, rational, relational, or all three at the same time.
The success of the elections will also determine the future state of the government. Therefore, the government should make it a priority to improve the country's existing electoral system. One way to improve it would be to systematize as well as further simplify the existing voting process. This will encourage more Filipinos to vote. The existing research data could also be used as a precedent to further study the key players involved in the electoral process. With this, we end our presentation.
There's a lot of knowledge shared this morning, but we're not ending just yet. Now, we open the floor for questions, insights, or comments. Anyone?
Yes, hi, good morning everyone. I'm Catherine and I'm from the Department of Speech Communication. According to the results of the study, it was said that the values of these Filipinos are compromised, especially when there's vote buying and all that. So, do you think that they're more relational than they are rational, and that overrides it?
According to our findings, there's no hierarchy among the three types of voters. Meaning, you can be a relational voter at the same time as being a logical voter. You can be a relational voter, so with that.
Tapos hindi rin po namin sinasabi na mutually exclusive sila. Pwede kang maging objective voter at the same time relational or other types.
Regarding dun sa issues that you mentioned, yung mga EPAL, vote buying, how did you decide on those issues?
Those were the issues that came out during our FGE. So the respondents themselves mentioned them.
How does the writers or how does these people under the producers battle it out so that they won't have media bias?
Siyempre, kung kaharap mo yung media practitioner, tapos he or she is part of like a very famous media company, siyempre magda-doubt sila kung sasabihin pa nila yung totoo or kung sasabihin nga nila, siyempre, as a researcher, you would also think twice about what they answered.
Una sa lahat, congratulations, 165 class. Ito na yung question. Ayun, given na may 3 types nga ng voters, ano yung implication nun? Or ano ba yung ini-imply nun sa atin?
Well, there are three different types, but not everybody is that way.
To be a wise voter siguro, parang you have to strike a balance kung dun sa tatlong yun. So it's not necessarily wrong if you consider yung personal contact ng politician with you kapag bumoboto ka. But parang gusto namin sabihin na dapat yung tatlo nako-consider siya.
Previous Philippine elections have frequently been marred by incidences of vote buying, violence, ballot box switching, or stuffing and miscounts. And the equation has been rules plus guns plus gold equals election victory. But with advanced technology, with the PCOS machines, as ably explained by Ms. Rito, with more vigilant media and better informed electorate, we are hoping that the equation will change, particularly this coming 2013 elections. And I think that's what our student researchers here wanted to accomplish. So if we all leave this room as better informed voters or media practitioners or even politicians, then this would be a success for them. But insofar as their teachers in the communication research department is concerned, they have accomplished their task.